So just as we're interested in boundary cases, so we've had the child who's not of the age of majority, but he is over 9 years old. What's the legal significance of his sexual act, his sexual relationship? And we've had a sexual relationship between a man and someone who he's not married to. And what's the legal significance of that relationship? And now we're going to have a situation where there's complete confusion over the family structure completely. So the children of 5 women are going to be mixed up. And I've just realized I've only got this in one language. So let me just change to 2 languages. For the children of 5, hang on a sec. So the children of 5 women have got mixed up. Interesting that the Mishnah doesn't seem to be talking about the children of 5 men being mixed up, but from a halachic point of view, it would have exactly the same impact. But okay, in this case, but it's the same impact. Maybe the Mishnah assumes that women are taking care of children and maybe they mix them up. I don't know. Maybe the Mishnah has got some view about women's ability to keep track of their children, which doesn't apply to men. I'm not sure. For whatever reason, the Mishnah begins with 5 women. So the children of 5 women got mixed up. And the 5, by the way, is just an example, because we'll see as we go through these that we can run this example with any number of children. So what happened next? Higdilu, they grew up. That is the mixed up children. Higdilu ha'taruvot. The mixed up children grew up. V'nasu nashim umetu, and they died. So what are we going to do now? Now, by the way, in order for this example to have any meaning at all, we must assume that each of the mixed up children had a brother. So in other words, the children of 5 women got mixed up, but these women had other sons. They must have had other sons, because we're now going to talk about chalitza and yibum. So, and we're going to talk about 5 possible combinations. So we are going to assume, the Mishnah assumes that for each one of these mixed up sons, there's a brother who is not mixed up. And we know who he is. So we got 5 brothers who could potentially perform yibum for 5 widows. Not just they could potentially perform yibum, they are. We know that each one of the 5 brothers is obligated to perform yibum with one of the 5 widows. The only problem is he doesn't know which one. And furthermore, not only is he obligated to perform yibum with each of the 5 widows, but if he gets it wrong, if he just marries the wrong widow, well, she's connected by yibum to one of his other brothers. So he's actually marrying his brother's wife. He can't do that. So he's in a catch-22 situation. He can't do yibum, he can't do marriage. What is he going to do? The Mishnah is going to suggest a way out of this. And you can see the Mishnah just loves playing with this game. So 4 brothers are going to do. 4 brothers are going to accept chalitza from one widow. So she's going to do chalitza 4 times. And then the 5th brother, I mean, I guess if she just wants to have chalitza, by the way, she could just do chalitza 5 times. Obviously, she can do chalitza 5 times. I mean, I think that's a very simple solution to the problem. If they all do chalitza 5 times, the whole problem is solved. But the Mishnah seems to be taking the view that it wants yibum to be able to happen. It wants these widows to end up married to somebody. And of course, again, we're coming back to the fact that in terms of real economics, it was it might have been financially disastrous, right, for a widow to be just left without a husband in the time of the Mishnah. So the Mishnah wants the Mishnah wants each of them to be able to have Yibum. So how's it going to work? 4 of these brothers are going to perform chalitza for one widow, and one of them can then perform Yibum. Why can he do that? Well, if that's his real sister-in-law, he's not doing anything wrong. He's doing Yibum. And if it's not his real sister-in-law, well, she's had chalitza. She's had chalitza from all the other brothers, so she's free to marry him. So she's basically free to marry him either via Yibum or via regular marriage. We've sorted the problem out for one widow. So what are we now going to do to the other 4 widows? Well, let's carve out now the other 4 widows. And we're going to take the brother who's already performed Yibum, he and 3 other brothers. So now he's going to take 3 brothers and he's going to perform chalitza for another widow. So she is now going to she's already performed chalitza for one of the brothers, but she's now going to perform chalitza for another 3. And once she's done this, she's free. And one of them can perform Yibum. And it's the same argumentation. If it's his real sister-in-law, that's fine. He's done Yibum. But if it's not his real sister-in-law, she's received chalitza from everybody. And she's free to marry him. And the way it works out, the Mishnah concludes, Nimtzu arba chalitzot ve'yibum l'chol achat v'achat. Each widow has got chalitza 4 times and yibum once. So each widow gets essentially 4 chalitzas and 1 yibum. So they're all happy. Everybody is sorted out. That's an easy situation. Let's take one which is a bit trickier, which actually has some forbidden relationships embedded in it. And we're going to look at a situation where these archetypal characters, I'm going to call the mother Rebecca, and she's got 2 sons. She's got Fred and she's got Bob. Bob and Alice get married, and Bob and Alice have a son called Charlie. So Rebecca, the grandmother now, has sons called Fred and Bob, and she has a grandson called Charlie. What happens? Charlie and Fred get mixed up. Her son and her grandson get mixed up. And of course, we're in the Mishnah of Yibum, so they're going to die. They're going to die. We need to figure out what to do next. Let's have a look at the Mishnah. So a child of a woman was mixed up with a child of her daughter-in-law. That's basically her grandson. And the mixed up children grew up and they got married and they died. And again, we're assuming that there are other brothers around. So what are we going to do? So that the other sons of the daughter-in-law, in other words, the Charlie's brothers, and we're assuming Charlie's got other brothers, but in other words, the grandchildren, Bnei HaKala, the sons of the daughter-in-law, they have to perform chalitza and they can't contract yibum. Because she might be the wife of his brother, but she might be the wife of his father's brother. It's a forbidden relationship to marry your uncle, at least in that direction. So the sons of the daughter-in-law have to perform chalitza. They can't do yibum. But uvnei hazkena, but the sons of the grandmother, the son of the grandmother in this example is Fred. Fred's the direct son. Rebecca's the grandmother. threads a direct son. They're in a different position. Yeah, they're one generation up. They're one generation up. Uvneas Kena, the sons of the grandmother, Ocholzin Omyabim, they can either do chalitza or they can do yibum. Shehu safek eshet achiv eshet ben achiv, because this person might be the their real sister-in-law, or it might be the wife of their nephew, and the wife of their nephew is actually permitted to them. What if the kosher sons died? Meitu hakshirim. So the ones who are not mixed up die. It works in exactly the same way. The mixed up sons of the grandmother have to do chalitza, and they cannot do yibum. They have to pull chalitza. They can't have yibum because it's uncertain whether she's the wife of his brother or the wife of his father's brother. Uvnei hakala, and the grandchildren, echad choletz vechad miyabem. As far as the grandchildren are concerned, one does chalitza and the other can have yibum.